Hi everyone, I'm Sue. Welcome to my channel. This is Blue Heron Hill. I'm down in my seed starting room downstairs, which is the furnace room. You can hear the furnace has kicked on again. It is supposed to be spring, but spring is such a fickle time of year. We are in probably what I call pseudo spring right now. It's a beautiful sunny day outside, but it is only 32 outside. It frosted up last night, and that's what you have to deal with this time of year. So I'm in my sweet potato area here. I'm going to talk a little bit about what I do with my sweet potatoes at this time of year. I have been propagating for slips. This is a purple sweet potato, and you can see how chock full of roots this little jar is. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, at least 10 slips in here. And they are getting a little bit too crowded. You can tell that some of the leaves are turning a little bit, well, here's an example. This poor guy, even though it has roots on it, it's being outcompeted and it's not going to be viable. So this guy's got to go. And some of these are starting to yellow. This particular guy here, the leaves are starting to yellow. We still have a nice root system, and I don't want to lose these before I plant them in the ground outside. Now, we're at the beginning of April. These guys cannot go out in my garden, zone 6A, until mid-May at the earliest. Sweet potatoes love heat, and I've got to warm my soil up, and I've got to be way past a danger of any kind of frost or freeze or anything like that. So I usually time my sweet potatoes to go in the end of May. So these have got to stay inside for a little bit longer, but they can't stay in this jar forever. You can see the detrimental effects of, staying with this large root mass in this small little jar. I'm not going to put them in a bigger jar. Yes, the roots will grow more, but what I'm going to do today is I'm going to pot them up. So I've got some very large containers. These are probably, 5x5s, I think. And so I will put a couple in each one of these, and their roots will start becoming adjusted to soil. And then when it's time, I'll put them out in my greenhouse, probably at the, give them a couple of weeks in here, take them out to the greenhouse, let them grow in the greenhouse until the soil has warmed up enough and I can put them in the ground out in my garden beds. So let's go ahead and pot up some of these sweet potato slips. Now, I did show you the two methods that I use. This is the potato in the soil mixture. You can see that this potato is becoming pretty well spent already. These are shriveling off here. Most of the potato probably has lost a lot of its nutrients. There's a few more slips up here that could be viable, and maybe I will cut them off and put them and try and root them. But this is just about done. As a matter of fact, I probably don't need any more purple sweet potato slips, but this is one method that's always turned out to be really a good method for me. The other method, of course, is the sweet potato in a jar, and you suspend it in the water. Now, the video I posted on the different methods was way back a number of weeks ago. This one's got some nice roots coming out, but there is not one single little bud coming out on this one, except I don't know if I'd even count that little spot that I sort of see there. So I'm really disappointed again in trying this method. I have a number of them. Here's another one which has one root on it, and it is getting one little eye, is giving me a sprout. But this has taken so long compared to this method here. So you be the judge, try both ways, see which one works for you. This one's not working very well for me. It really hasn't done too well in the past either, but I thought I'm gonna give it a try. It's a backup in case something happens with those that I've rooted in the soil. I'll always have these to fall back on. Okay, as I always do, I pre-moisten my potting mix. Now this is not seed starter, this is potting mix, so it does have some nutrients in it that these sweet potato slips are going to take advantage of. Because if you had it in seed starting medium, your sweet potato slips are not going to get any nutrients at all, and you'll have to fertilize them. I'm not totally into fertilizing them quite yet. I will give them a shot of fish fertilizer maybe every 10 days. A diluted solution, whatever it says on the bottle, kind of cut that in half. I think it says 1 tablespoon per gallon. I go way under that. I go almost like a teaspoon and a half or so per gallon of water. And I fertilize them about every 10 days. So we'll start with 1 pot. Not too difficult to do this. I put a little bit in the bottom. It doesn't matter what depth you plant it at, because even if I planted it to this depth, we are going to start getting roots even up here. So as long as these are in the soil, that's good. I'm going to plant 2 per pot. I will take off a couple of the lower leaves. I've put soil in about halfway. I don't know if you can see that. And then I will put that into the pot and then start backfilling all the way to the top. Press it down a little bit. You want contact with the roots and the soil, and just fill it as high as you want it to go, because the roots are going to start coming off these shoots at all levels. I could have probably put 3 in this one. So there's 1, and I have, I don't know, maybe 3 more to go. I like doing it this way, starting my slips early enough in case something happens at the end. For example, I'm not getting any slips on these, and only right now getting a couple buds forming. So when that happens, this I'm sure is going to grow, and I'll be able to plant this out as early as I usually do. But this is just an insurance policy. Start your sweet potatoes early. They don't have to stay in that water forever, you know, for months and months and months. Plant them in the ground. Get them off to a good root stock. Roots that are enjoying the benefits of being able to push through soil and everything like that. Know that you can do this too. If your last frost date hasn't yet come yet, and your soil hasn't warmed up enough, you can just hold off on planting those sweet potatoes by planting them indoors. They'll do fine. They're just another waiting period for sweet potatoes before you get them out in the garden. And boy, is it ever a wonder to dig those sweet potatoes up. So let me show you some of the other things, just a little brief rundown of what else is starting to sprout in my seed starting area. Here are my peppers. They're all doing very well. I didn't have such great germination with my banana peppers, so I'm going to see if I can put a few more in the plant some more in another cell and get those going. But everybody else looks fine. Talking about a little fertilization, I've been giving these now fish fertilizer every 10 days or so. Here, these are all different basils. I have cinnamon basil, awesome, makes a lovely tea. Lemon basil, this is a cardinal basil. This has a very lovely purple flower, massive purple flowers on it. So I may let that go, you know, and flower and see how that does. This is regular sweet basil, and this is Thai basil. Over here in this tray, we've got parsley and cilantro, which I think we've got something just starting to peek out here. They germinate rather slowly. And what do we have here? This is like a lemon balm, kind of an orange type of a lemon balm. Very good. This is salvia, and I think two things. Let's see, two things of salvia here. Over here in this tray, these are ground cherries. Last year I didn't grow ground cherries. I grow tomatillos. They kind of compete with each other, and it doesn't always work out so well. Right here, it looks like I put in some shallots. They haven't come up yet. A mass of huckleberries. These are garden huckleberries. I grew those last year. I'll put a link in the upper corner and show you the video I had on harvesting my ground cherries, or on harvesting my garden huckleberries. These, let's see what these are. Turn them sideways. Stop the light from going. Oh, these are zinnias and dahlias. Now I do have dahlia tubers that I have to pot up, but this is a different variety. Mexican sunflowers here, not coming up yet. I have some phlox. These are marigolds that I just put in just not too long ago. I have some nasturtiums, and this is some calendula. I don't know if you can see, there is one small one. Oh, a couple of them germinating already there. Now coming down here, these are pretty powerful plant lights. These are tomatoes. So I have, a whole bunch of tomatoes. If you look at my tomato video, which I'll put in the upper corner, you can see the different varieties. And over here is another tray of tomatoes. Back here, this is a wintered over pepper plant. And there's another one right there. No foliage on that yet, at least not too much to see. There is a leaf on the other side down here. I'm holding on to that one, and I am not giving up on this one yet because the stem and everything is fairly green, so I know there's life in there. So that's what has life down in my seed starting area here. I do have a bunch of my brassicas are out in my greenhouse right now. I was going to plant them a few days ago, but I thought, well, with that hard frost that we had last night, I'm going to wait till I think tomorrow, where our temperatures are going to be in the mid 30s and 40s at night, and so I think they'll do a little bit better. Besides, I haven't really prepped my soil yet. I have to raise the level of the soil in the soil beds, and I got work to do this week, although there's rain coming tomorrow. If we could only have some of this rain in August, that would be wonderful. So thanks for following along on this video with me. Questions and comments down below, please. Give me a thumbs up if you've liked this. Subscribe if you haven't, and pass it along to anybody that might enjoy this gardening content. So the next time that we can go digging in the dirt, happy gardening. Bye.